Hello, I'm Otto and welcome to episode 32 of my Factorio Post-Nauvis guide. So in the last episode, we set up this storage area. We also created some dedicated reinforced concrete for this planet. We set up a quality 2 assembler like production line over here. And we also set up an area for secondary recycling. We are going to be limiting this. We're not going to leave it just like wide open. So I don't think we're going to do that in this episode. We'll probably end up doing that next episode, but that is in the near future. We are also going to be connecting all of these, all the storage, and we're going to be connecting all of them to the red line. Well, I mean, we don't really need to do it with stone brick, but you know what? We might as well do it with all of them. So I can do that after. So I'm gonna end up making a cut because there's a lot of busy work that I have to do, but it's not typical busy work of like me doing stuff. It's literally gonna be a bunch of bot busy work. So what does that mean? I am tearing down the starter base. We need this entire area for recycling, and you might not think that we need this entire area for recycling, but if you've seen me, like if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know that I like to make things, one, a lot bigger than we need, and two, I like to try to future-proof things. I want to make things somewhat modular, upgradable, and something that will help carry us to the end of the game that we don't have to worry about adding to, or we can easily add to, or something like that. So I'll be tearing this down. The bots will have a lot of work to do, and not only that, but I kind of regret putting this down here. Initially, I was thinking about putting it somewhere over here because the way that this is shaped, like a backwards 7, I wanted to make sure that if the bots had to put things in storage from here, they would be able to do it without getting destroyed by lightning through here, and then same if they needed to do something down here. So I am going to be moving it, and this is actually a perfect place right here. So I will be off camera moving this as well. It's going to be quite time consuming. If you saw how long it took for the last one, you'll know that this is going to be, yeah, quite time consuming. So anyways, I'm going to do that real quick and I will be back shortly. And we're back. Okay, so like I said, I moved the storage area over, whatever this is, the cargo landing pad, and all the storage over here. I tore down the starter base and I connected all of these via the red wire. I also updated these to buffer chests. I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to start using the buffer chests more. At least try them out. So I requested in some items to kind of try to keep the storage area clear. Now the bots will generally prefer the storage chests over the buffer chests. I mean, it's kind of weird. Like I did some testing a while back, and when you request in materials with a requester chest, there's kind of like a hierarchy of whether or not it comes from the active provider, the storage chest, the buffer chest, or the passive provider. And in general, the bots will go for the active provider first, but a lot of times they will go from the active provider to the storage chest, from the storage chest to the requesting chest. And in the case where you don't have a requester chest, it'll have that same pattern into the buffer chest. It'll go from active provider to storage to the buffer chest. And the buffer chest and the requester chest will not bring in from the red chest, from the passive providers, until these storage chests are clear of materials and they just don't have a choice. So that's kind of your options with that. Anyways, we need to make a recycling area. I'm really excited about this because it's about time. Let's just say that. So we're going to end up using 4 whole city blocks. Sorry, 8 whole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4. Yes. Okay. We're going to use 8 whole city blocks here for recycling. And each one of these lines is going to have its own dedicated section. But before we even get to that, we're going to have a section here where we are kind of breaking up the pieces. Like anything that comes through, like look at all these gears. the steel. We can take care of a lot of that stuff before it even gets to the recyclers, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to use this as like a little guideline, and so the first thing that we're going to bring in is steel. That is too far. So as we have done previously, we are going to take the steel and turn it into a steel chest. We then need a recycler, and it needs to be oriented like this. So the outside corner needs to be here. If we were to put it like this, it would not work. If we were to put it like this, it would work. So this is how it needs to be oriented, and that is so that you can get an inserter to remove the chest and put it back into the recycler. You know, some people will put storage here. You know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's fine if it goes on the ground. They will collect it. No big deal. Okay, so we have steel coming in here, and we're not that deep. Like, this is not a very long belt, so this will actually clog from time to time. And if you find that it's clogging often, you can put a speed module in here. So yeah, so this takes care of this. Steel will come in, make steel chests. We'll go into the recycler. Recycler will spit out more steel. And that's another thing, is the assembling machine will actually prioritize taking in the things from the recycler, because the arrow is just direct feeding into this rather than the inserter. So that's part of why this will back up. But we're also very, believe it or not, limited on space up here. So yeah, this is what we're going to deal with. Anyways, next up is concrete. We're going to filter this for concrete. And the concrete can be made into hazardous concrete. The hazardous concrete will then recycle into regular concrete, spit into here, make more, good to go. Next up is, what was I going to do next? This one's a little bit more complicated. So this one is going to be kind of iron, but we're going to do gears and iron. This one is going to be the most likely to clog, just because we are probably more likely to get the gears. And the gears are probably going to go in first because of the way that we're going to have this set up. So the gears are going to go directly into the recycler. The recycler is going to feed into here, making iron chests. And then we're also going to filter iron and have it do a funky little squiggle up here. And the iron is what is going to basically back us up. And we're just going to have to deal with that. Okay, so that's 3. The last one that we're going to do is stone. Stone is a little tricky as well. So stone can be turned into landfill. But landfill does not turn into stone, so we can't just recycle it back into itself. This one instead will have to recycle into a recycler. And that will just do like that. Okay, so that is our setup. Our pre-setup, I guess. So we need to make this 8 more times, and we're going to squeeze it in nice and tight. Did I mess this up? I did not. Okay, this is good. Eight. Okay. So that is our 8 lines. Now we are going to split these 4 and 4. And as for power, power is pretty easy. We're just going to land this on the top of each of the belts. Excuse me. That's not going to work. Oh, that's fine. I can mess with that after. Okay. And then these are not going to line up either. So this is going to look something like this. We can just actually run this up. And that will fit where it needs. And everybody over here has power. Good to go. Okay, so as for the actual recycling, this whole city block is going to be dedicated to this line here, which is going to be somewhere like this one here. So we need... So that's 4 rows of 4 going out away from each other, and then one that recycles back into itself. All of these are going to get their own inserters. And power is going to be like that. And that is our setup for at least the initial part. So I'm going to copy this. Let's do this in a remote view. It's a little bit easier to line things up. Oh, I didn't even realize that the leg lines up with the dotted line. Okay, so that is 8 sections for 8 belts, and you'll find that at least early on, only the first maybe 1 or 2 sections are going to be consuming anything. The rest of this, well, whatever. The rest of these will kind of be just future-proofing. And we're actually going to take this a step farther and say that future-proofing is actually going to look more like this. We are, whoops. We are not going to be placing all of these. It's just really not, it's pretty pointless at this point in the game. We won't add more of these until we get to stack inserters. And then I'm just going to take all of these belts and kind of just push them up. All like that. Okay, so now we just need to connect the top ones here. That is not going to fit. Alright, let's start from here. We'll just do some weaving. Okay, that is our recycler setup. We are short, apparently. That's okay, they'll get going. So another thing that's going to happen soon is we're going to start getting really low on power. We actually have... How many of these accumulators do we have? We have... So let's hit L. L shows us what is in our logistics network. So we can kind of see we have 23 blue. And we should have about 10... Oh, almost 900 of the green. Yeah. Let's... Oh, I already have one set up. So I have this upgrade planner set up to change regular accumulators to the uncommon. So we're going to use that, and we're just going to cover about as much as it said we had. So we had about 800 and something. Let me start from this end. Yeah, we can go close to 1,000. Because what'll happen is these are all now queued up to be upgraded. I mean, we could really technically just do the entire, like blanket the entire thing, and we will be perfectly fine. Just as they start to, like as we create more of the uncommon quality, the bots will just come through and replace them. And then all the ones that they're replacing will go back in storage, and we are going to be using a quality upcycler to create better ones pretty soon. But we need to get this thing activated. Just copy these and branch off. Alright, let's see how this looks. So like I said, you can see that this is a little thin. That is very, very temporary until we start building up our supplies here. Like as you can see, this is already, yeah, the stone brick is already filled up, so the stone brick will be going through. Stone brick you could have done too. Like we didn't really have room in here, but if you really wanted to, you could add a stone brick section to make walls, and that would get rid of the stone brick a little bit faster. That's pretty much most of the items, or most of the quote-unquote tricks to get these items going. Did I make a blueprint for the bot mining? I think I did. Bot mining? Yeah, we could even use this bot mining blueprint and just like stamp this down over here to get rid of this, all this stuff. That'll just feed into, well, some into here and mostly into the storage over here. Okay, so now that we have this turned on, I am very aware that we are going to have some problems somewhere down the line. Wow, look at all those green circuits. And I have, like I said, I have connected all of these to the red line. So if we were to take any red line like this one, I can see how much I have in storage. Why do I not have... Did I not connect green? And wait a minute. Somebody messed up. I'm not going to point any fingers. Okay. I'm still missing. What am I missing? I'm missing solid fuel. I'm missing... all of these. Okay. That's more like it. Okay, so I do not want this to just be completely wide open. As a matter of fact, these guys are backing up. Both of them? Just one? No, they're both backing up. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of that. Did that even help? Not really. It just backed up faster. Anyways. Oh my. That is quite the limit. How did that... Did I do that on purpose? Wait, what? How did I even do that? I managed to... So this is 200. You can clearly see this is 200. And I copied this whenever I made this. But it is not... Like somehow a 1 got in there. Whatever, we're gonna change that back. All right, easy, simple fix. Also don't know why I have all that built. Anyways, as you can see, I do not have anything going on in these two lines. So we're just going to start at the beginning, go through the process, and make sure that everything is working as intended. So water, ice into water, looks like it's fine. Light oil is fine. Chromium solution looks fine. Okay, so we have the watt. Oh, hello. Wait, if we didn't have this water, then we haven't had any reinforced concrete? Wow, we haven't had any reinforced concrete this whole time. Okay, that I was not expecting. That's a little important for our EM plants. I guess we've just been importing it the whole time. Okay, so chromium plate is good. Way more than we need, like way more than we need, but we will need more of this later, so that is fine. I don't think that this is enough. I feel like we needed 18 of these, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just preemptively adjust that. If it's too much, it is what it is. So I'm going to copy all of this. Power pole to power pole. And we're going to force stamp that in. And do the same thing here and remove what's on the back. Okay, this is not going to work. This will work. And then this can jump here and this can connect there. So now that will work. I apparently just demoted these guys. Okay, that's... Okay, so these guys were operational. Make sure I made all the connections properly. Looks like everything is a go. It all lined up perfectly. Awesome. These guys are not making anything. What are we missing? Light oil. Light oil comes in here. This is going to be... I guess not that difficult. Okay, all these guys are crafting. Yeah, we're going to have... Look at how close our power has already gotten, and we're having more machines turn on. We definitely need to upgrade to whatchamacallit, the lightning collectors soon. But we kind of need more power storage for that, so yeah. Upcycler time it is. Alright, so these guys are crafting. Did I see some blips? That's just a natural part of the animation. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Everything is saturated. These are also fine enough for now, because we're not doing any research. Nah, I did not. Wow. These guys did not have inserters outputting their science. Go me. Okay, but all the materials are coming in. These guys are crafting just fine. They are being absorbed into the rockets. Oh, the rocket fuel produces so slow. That is wild. But that's okay, because at some point we will have some extra. So we have mining or scrap productivity. We have processing unit productivity, blue circuit productivity coming from this planet. We're going to queue up some bot action and then get into the scrap recycling, and then we will get into blue circuits. Gleba, though, has a couple as well. Gleba has plastic, which is kind of odd. I mean, I guess it's fine. Not overly necessary, but whatever, it is what it is. And then rocket fuel. Plastic, I mean, kind of doesn't make sense. Like, maybe in the way that steel... I mean, but steel makes sense because it takes so long to make, but at least LDS, blue circuits, and rocket fuel, that's your rocket components, but adding in plastic and, like I said, steel to a degree is kind of whatever. Scrap productivity is, I mean, since you can't have actual productivity on this planet because of I guess balancing concerns, and it makes sense to have that set up like that. Okay, we're also going to collect these guys, and we will just leave them. They can just be wide open. We're not going to limit them at all. Okay, so this is going... Yeah, it looks like everything's going fine. So we do need to limit this. So thankfully, like I said... Excuse me. Oh. So if we look over on the right-hand side, we can see that we have 16,000 green circuits. That is both a lot and not very much at the same time. I think I might open this up more, because green circuits are just one of those things. Only way that you can get them is if you destroy all of your blue circuits, pretty much, so... Same with plastic, actually. Plastic and LDS and then copper plate. Anyways. Going back to specifically this one. So this is... Sure, we have copper cable and red circuits coming out of this plastic. Oh yes, plastic. Our aim is the green circuits, though. So what we're going to do is we are going to limit all of these guys. We're going to connect them to the red network. And tell them, enable if green circuits are less than... I guess for now we can do 15K. You can always adjust these numbers after. So now they're disabled. This one's going to be a little bit different because we basically need no gears. So as many gears as we want to take off, that is like completely fine. And the downside is that, well, I mean, I guess there's not really that much of a downside. We're taking off something that is abundantly here. Actually, to be honest, I should have swapped these two. I should have had the gears coming off first, because that's a lot of stuff coming off the belts. And this would have been a lot of stuff going back onto the belts. So, yeah. Oh, hello. I did not even realize that I had both sides. Okay, that is easy fix. And this one is probably also... I'm going to say this one's probably also fine. Yeah, we need some LDS coming through. Oh no, we have the LDS back here for rockets. Okay, so any LDS after this is probably fine. Like, we only need LDS for maybe some of the rocket components. Mark II armor, power armor. Oh, batteries. So it's not necessarily a huge deal to have too many of those. So I'm perfectly fine with leaving this one open. So this is the only one that we're blocking to try to save our blue and red circuits. This will back up at some point. They only produce up to a stack, so this will not continue to fill up. It likes to leave all 12 of these open, and that largely is because of the scrap mining back here. If I can find one that's clogged, none of them are clogged. So as you see the items appear, you can see that when they're recycling scrap, each of the items have their own dedicated slot, which is kind of why there's 12 of them. Anyways, just a little bit of a fun fact, I guess. And it's nice seeing that these are almost empty by this point, but oh no. Clogs already? Low power. Yeah, alright. That's due to low power. Anyways, we will solve that problem soon enough, hopefully. Okay, so let's start an upcycler for the accumulators. So we're going to do that over in this area. I should probably put these on my bars. Yeah, that can go. That can go. So upcycler and we have the EM upcycler and the regular upcycler. So well, not anything. We're going to start with the accumulators because that's going to be a pretty important part of this, is how much we can actually store. And that will get us going with some power. You know what? We might as well do the EM plants because that is, again, a huge part of this planet. This one, we're gonna start making lightning collectors. I think we might just skip from lightning rods to maybe rank 3 lightning collectors if we can. There's a bit of... Let's take a look at the ingredients for this thing because we haven't even made one of these. Oh, we need electrolyte. Okay. I'll have to move that one closer to down this way. Actually, you know what? We have a bit of extra space now. I could invade the bus because I don't need these to continue on. But the pipes, the liquids, yeah. I have this extra space down here now. That's a long distance for the boss to travel, but you know what, it is what it is. We don't need a lot. You know what, let's just do it. That was the wrong path for me to choose. And so was that one. Lesser of two evils, let's go. Okay, and the bots will have a bit of travel time. That is not a big deal. Just as long as we have something going. I also feel like I maybe shouldn't have limited these to a stack. You know what? We will cross that bridge when we get there. I might change that off screen because like adjusting these blueprints is quite the pain. Yeah, anyways, so we have now finally started recycling. We are... Or no. Wait, why are you still backed up? What is going on here? Okay, you just needed some time, that's all. Ah, it's so sad seeing batteries go through here, but you know what, it is what it is. Batteries are... Oh, and blue circuits. Man. Well, maybe one of these days I'll find a better filtering system than what we have. Which one did I just do? What did I say? Batteries. Yeah, we'll get some more storage on that too. One last quick thing before I go. Since our upcycler stuff is largely going to be over here, one thing that you're going to notice is that this chest is going to be drained first, because this is the one, well, these are going to be drained first, but then this will start being drained after, because this is what the bots will prioritize since they're closest to this over here. So you will actually see more clogging up on the right side over time. When these chests on the right hand side start to fill up, this will just continue down the line. There's not really much we can do about that, and I'm surprised. I'm actually really... Oh, that's why. This guy must have had... Oh, he has some extra iron because we left this guy wide open. And this is getting the majority of that stuff on this line. Okay, so we'll just give this guy some speed modules. Did I not filter that? Oh my goodness. Gotta love mistakes like that. That one is at least not a big one. That is a very tiny belt to deal with. Okay. This guy's gonna get some speed modules and pick up the pace, right? I'll say, are all these guys gonna have input problems? No. Here, yes, because... Oh, never mind. Okay, so that is gonna be it for me for this episode. In the next episode, actually, before we even get into the next episode, I just realized we need to unlock Gleba. Yes, Gleba. Let's go. Then back to bots, back to scrap productivity. Okay. There's a couple more things that we have to research, but Gleba is definitely something that we need to look at. Scary seeing empty. Okay, anyways. All right. So that's going to be it for me for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to continue with some upcyclers. We're going to create some more stuff over here. Just like nothing crazy. Just I want to kind of show like just a couple of things, right? Yeah, so that'll be it for this episode. And I will see you in the next one. And thanks for watching.